I even thinking about you creating so many different clothes. Like, I love when you throw up on social media, like, oh, I'm at Joanne's Fabric. I'm like, yes, you are, girl. Yes, you are.
Or just seeing you last week at the show. Your label does a show at the Ryman. And you came out in this fabulous white puffy thing that kind of looked like something from the 80s, but filtered through the 60s. And it was great because I loved the look, but it was like, you can't buy that at Dillard's.
Nope.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
But maybe Forever 21 soon.
I made it.
Right?
What? Look at that transition again.
So good at transition.
God.
She's bought Transitions by Hunter Kelly. You're welcome.
You could teach that master class on transitions.
Thank you.
To go off of your transition, yes, it was announced yesterday that Forever 21 is doing, for Women's Day, a collection of like female empowerment clothes, basically. And they picked, I think, like 10 influencers. I don't really like that word, influencers. But
well, you've influenced me.
Oh, thank you. To kind of be the spokespeople and the face of the campaign. And I got picked. And so it's been great so far. And I'm going out in like 2 weeks to do a show. And, you know, we'll be in the stores and on a billboard in New York. And just trying to barely get my foot in the fashion door. Trying to sneak it in there.
Or I think your foot's in the door. So what was that experience like? Were you collaborating on the pieces they created, or are you mom?
Unfortunately, no. Okay. I wish that I was.
That'll come.
I know it'll come.
This is the foot in the door.
One little. I don't ever in my career want to feel like I got something that I don't deserve out of the blue. Mm-hmm. Like I want to feel like every piece of everything that I did I worked for, and that I can trace my accomplishments through tiny steps versus like it just came out of the blue and it landed in my lap and here I am. You know what I'm saying? So tiny little baby steps is good for me.
So who are some artists who are musicians who've gone into fashion that you like their stuff? Yes.
So the first person that I always use an example and that I still worship to this day is Rihanna. Riri. Like, yesterday was her birthday.
I was like, she just had a birthday.
Or the day before? Yeah, she's amazing. Because she... Like her, my whole life, I've wanted music and performing to be at the forefront always. Like that's my number one. But I see all these things. It's like a pyramid of birds in the sky, and music is the front one leading the pack, and then all the ones behind it, you know, sort of support. And fashion is one of the biggest things. And for Rihanna, I mean, look, people are like, "Where's the album? Where's the album?" And I'm like, Rihanna's too busy with her Fenty beauty and her lingerie and all the fabulous things that she is. And she's really like, she impacts culture like so, like on such a large scale. Yeah. And I really want to follow that.
Well, plus, there was a time where I swear Rihanna, she literally was putting out a new album every year.
Yeah,
for a
she
while.
was. Right. Yes, when she was with LA.
Yeah, and so it's just like, you know, give her some time. Yeah. You know, she's graduated to get on that Janet Jackson plane, you know, for like 3 years off and then come back.
Let her do her thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's also that thing being able to exercise your creativity in a different way. And we're not one dimensional.
Yeah. And you don't want to get stuck in some cycle of like, okay, you have to have something out by this date and then you have to have something out by this date. Like that's horrible. Like no real creative person wants to be that restrained and that forced to do it on a schedule.
One systematic.
Yeah, you have to be inspired or else it comes out crap.
So I'm just totally fascinated by you making your clothes, sewing. Who taught you to sew?
So I learned how to sew. My mom started teaching me because she was really poor growing up, and she used to get clothes from the church behind her house, and then she would sew them up to fit her. And so I was, because of ballet, like ridiculously tiny, skinny, and tall, and pants never fit me, ever. Like double zeros in middle school from Abercrombie would just fall off, like down to my knees. So she was always taking my clothes in. And I, from a young age, anything around me, from tiling a wall to painting to clothing design, if you could create something in that medium and kind of pick your choices, I wanted to learn how to do it. So she had a sewing machine in the house our entire life, and she bought me my first dress form in like 6th grade. And she would take me to the thrift store and buy me like 80s and 90s wedding dresses and let me like restructure them. And of course, in middle school, they were horrible and I couldn't wear them. I always messed them up, but I just kept trying and kept trying.
Just kept learning.
Yeah, and here I am. And YouTube videos really help. When you have a question, you just YouTube it and somebody shows.
But there's something so sacred about sewing. Like my grandmother sewed, and she
it's almost
quilted.
therapeutic.
Oh, it so is. Yeah.
Well, I haven't really actually done it, but it's something that I'm kind of interested in because my mom was kind of the same way. Like her mom made her clothes, and then I have quilts that my meemaw made.
Yeah.
And so it's just like sometimes I think about her, like when I hear "Coat of Many Colors" by Dolly Parton, and I just lose my, just ugly cry.
Yeah.
But it is those moments that take you back to growing up and being with your family and the people that matter the most to you. And I have those memories with my grandmother, and I'm like, anytime I think about it.
Yeah, my grandma sewed too.
Yeah, I don't know that it was really well done, but she did.
Yeah.
I see, Meemaw was hardcore.
Yeah, my grandma was like, she crochets too, like doilies,
Yeah.
like those lace, like intricate doilies.
So my granny did that, and I really want to learn that because there's so many like things I see on Instagram, like quotes that I really want to. Like I have a friend who said, "I need to be comfortable and I need to rock."
Yeah, yeah.
I have to be comfortable, so I was like, "Oh, that would be great to cross stitch on a
Yeah.
pillow." Do you cross stitch?
Yeah, I have before. I like to cross stitch cuss words.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Girls, sell those in merch.
That's the most Kassi Ashton thing I've heard all day.
And I think,
I will buy those.
I think sewing is such a life skill. Like, I'm definitely going to make sure that my kids know how to sew because things are made so quickly and cheap now that they fall apart.
I learned that from Tina Turner.
You should, they fall apart. And I think that you should know how to put them back together.
Well, that's one of the things.
It's having it's quality.
Yeah.
Quantity.
Yeah.
That's what Tina
and
said
it really
in the book.
helps. It really helps with presentation, like in clothes when they fit correctly.
Yeah.
And I just honestly, I see it as another artistic medium to get emotion out or to portray, how I feel on a certain day.
Well, I got into it again when I watched Project Runway back in the day.
Yes, same. Me too.
Girl, could we get you on Project Runway as an advisor?
You could be
or
an
something?
advisor or a judge.
Oh,
yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I would totally do that. That would make me
I think it'd be
happy.
great.
Oh, I'm starting a new YouTube series called The Look. And it's where I do videos on all the clothes that I've made. And like the first episode comes out through V Magazine on Monday. And it's the violins outfits. And I go through like my inspiration and how I made them. And there's actually me. You'll see the video. I film myself when I make everything. But that also means I'm in like a bathrobe and my hair is on top of my head. And I have glasses on. And there's like a rock song in the background. And I'm just like hot gluing. And they put little pieces of that in. And I'm like, okay, well, you see my home self right there. Great. But yeah, that's
real.